Today, I'm going to show you how to make one of Korea's traditional vegetable side dishes that our Korean ancestors ate, called 고사리나물 무침. These are dry bracken turned into this plump and juicy vegetable side dish. Yes, this is one of the vegetable side dishes included in our traditional Bibimbap, also in our spicy beef soup called YukGaeJang, and also in BinDaeTteok, mung pancakes. 고사리나물 is a wild mountain vegetable called 산나물, known as a superfood for its nutritional value. 오늘의 레시피, 한식의 전통 반찬, 고사리나물 무침 만들기. 오늘도 여러분들과 영어로 함께 하겠습니다. They call this like the beef of the earth. That's how much of a superfood this is. Hi everyone, this is Helen and welcome to Modern Pepper. 안녕하세요, Modern Pepper의 헬렌입니다. And here is our dried gosari, called Bracken in English. And I'm using gosari from Jeju Island in Korea. And when it comes to gosari, I highly recommend using made in Korea gosari. And for our recipe today, we'll be using about 50 grams of dried gosari. And we're gonna put our gosari in a medium-sized bowl. And to this, we're just gonna pour some hot water. Enough so that our dried gosari is fully submerged in hot water. And then we're gonna place a plate over it so it stays submerged. And we're gonna place a saran wrap, a plastic wrap, seal it tight like so, and we're gonna come back to it in 1 hour. So it's been an hour. Take our plate out. So it's still very rubbery and hard, which is normal. And then we're gonna pour this to a strainer. So this is cold water. So I just want you to lightly rinse it like this, like move it around and then pour into a strainer. Rinse it again one more time. Pour it out. Right now, if you go to touch it, it's very rubbery, very rubbery, and that is okay at this point. So put it back in the bowl and then fill it up to the rim like so. And then we're gonna put our plate over it to make sure our gosari stays submerged under. And I want you to put it on your kitchen counter and let it rest for 4 to 6 hours, but overnight for 12 hours is even better. Our gosari has been sitting on the kitchen counter for 12 hours. Let's take a look. If you touch it now, it should still feel very rubbery, and that is perfectly normal. And then we're gonna pour this into our strainer. Kind of also smells like tea at this point, and that is normal too. It smells like black tea, but just because it smells like tea, that doesn't mean you should drink it. Actually, if you drink this liquid, it's actually bad for you, so don't do that. So we're just gonna lightly rinse it in cold water. So what we're gonna do now is pour it back into our strainer and put it in our pot. And then we're gonna fill it with some cold water, enough so that our gosari is fully submerged underwater. And place our pot on a stove, turn the heat to high, and we're gonna wait for this to start boiling. So once the water starts boiling, we're gonna place our lid and we're gonna lower our heat to medium low, and we're gonna let this cook for 30 minutes. I know, I hear you. You're saying, wow, that's a lot of work, right? There's a reason why you must slowly boil our gosari before it becomes edible. Fresh bracken is not safe for human consumption as it contains tequilicides. But our Korean ancestors, as well as other Asian countries like China and Japan, have been consuming dried bracken after it has been boiled for a very long time. Dried bracken contains diaminases that breaks down vitamin B1, but in boiling water, it becomes denatured. So through the long soaking period in water, rinsing, and boiling, the bracken toxin can be safely removed, making it a superfood with medicinal qualities. So much so that 고사리나물 무침 was served to Korean kings dating back to our Joseon dynasty. Gosari is known as the cow of the mountain or earth for its high protein and other nutritional contents. So for more on Bracken safety and nutrition, please check out the description box for additional reading sources. And it's been 30 minutes and we're gonna turn off our heat and let's take a look. Ooh, okay, so it still smells like tea, but a little bit less strong. But I want you to see that now our gosari has plumped up, like almost doubled in size prior to slowly simmering it. And now we're gonna quickly bring this over to the sink and rinse it in cold water. Now when I touch it, it's soft. We're just gonna shake it a little bit to remove the excess water. Don't squeeze this, don't do that. Take a look. It's not as rubbery as before, but now it has a little give back bounce, but it's still holding its shape. If you live near a big Korean market, you can also buy these pre-soaked gosa리나물. I would still boil it before I pan fry or season it. And usually you will also find 고비나물 next to 고사리나물. 고비나물 is more watery in its content, and in my opinion, it is not as tasty as 고사리나물. On a sheet of paper towel, I want you to lay your gosari that we just boiled and kind of spread it like so, and take another piece of paper towel, gently just press it down, pull off any excess water, and then take it off. What I want you to do at this point is take a few strands and the ends should feel soft like that. This batch of gosari that I bought is really high quality, so it doesn't look like it needs any trimming, but some of them, the ends, when you touch it, it feels dead. It feels like hay, it feels dry, and those you want to just cut off at this point. So that's the next step. But this brand, I love. There's nothing to trim. They really did a good job trimming everything off before they packaged it. This is ready to go. So the next step is just bunch it up all together like this, and we're just gonna roughly chop it down the middle, the other way like that. You don't want to over chop it, but you do want to cut it a little bit because these guys are kind of long, right? So this is hard to eat. So just in half length. If you see any ones that are super long like this one, again, cut it in half. And that is about it. So we need 2 garlic cloves, and you're gonna cut the root end off like that. Place your knife on it flat and then make a fist and then strike it down. So we need 1 and 2 crushed garlic cloves for our seasoning. Set your heat to high. Place your pan and preheat for about a good minute or 2. Once the pan has preheated, I want you to lift it at an angle like this and pour about 1 tablespoon of your favorite oil. And then to that, we're gonna add our crushed garlic cloves. So this is to infuse the flavors of garlic into our frying oil that we're gonna use to stir fry our gosari. So I want you to do this for about a good minute or 2 while you're kind of going back and forth, and then turn over the clove like that. Delicious fried garlic. Oh man, that's gonna be good on everything. So do this until it's slightly golden brown like that. Put your pan back down, swirl it, and then lower your heat to medium. We're gonna add our gosari. And then just mix it. And I just want you to saute this for about a good minute. We just want to slightly brown our gosari. To this, we're gonna add half a cup of hot water. So that's 1 and 2. To this, quickly, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of 진간장. If you don't have 진간장, all-purpose soy sauce is fine. And we're gonna add 1 small piece of 다시마. That is dried sea kelp, and some black pepper. And here we have 1 scallion. I'm just gonna bend it in half and put it in here. And I'm gonna add 1 pinch of salt, like that. Just kind of put the sea kelp on the bottom, the green onion in the center, so it's kind of covered. We're gonna put our lid on it and lower our heat to low and come back in 10 minutes. It's starting to smell really good. Now it doesn't really smell like the tea smell. So it's been 10 minutes. We're gonna turn off our stove. Take a look. Ooh la la. At this point, I'm gonna take out the scallions. You could keep it in here if you like. It's totally up to you. And our garlic, you could keep it in here too or take it out. I just want to show everyone. So even at this point, look, it still should hold its shape. You know, it shouldn't be mushy. So this, don't throw it away. Eat it with Korean rice. And this garlic, you could chop it up and mix it up with our gosari in a little bit or just have it as is. And then we're just gonna take our gosari and put it in a bowl. I want to cool this down. Get all of our gosari and put it in here. Move our gosari around in the bowl to cool it down a little bit. Our braising liquid here, don't throw this away. I want you to have a taste. That's good. It's like salty, but it has all the flavors of our gosari. We're gonna season with this in a little bit, so don't throw it away. Any leftover, you pour it over Korean rice, mix it all up and eat it. Then at this point, I want you to take 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4 tablespoons of our braising liquid. We're gonna add it to that. And to this, we're gonna add half a tablespoon of your favorite oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil and half a tablespoon of sesame oil. We're gonna add it to here. This is optional. You don't have to add this, but if you do, it tastes so much better. So I'm gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of our beef dashida. That's sogogi dashida. We're gonna add it to here. And then at this point, it's easy as just mixing it all up. Gosari is not supposed to be drowning in its liquid, so just a little bit is okay. So as it kind of rests in the liquid, it absorbs it a little bit. This is it, and this is it. That's all you need to do at this point. I know, I hear you. Some of you are saying, well, Helen, isn't it tastier if you add some chopped up garlic or scallions to our 고사리나물 무침? And I'm gonna say yes, absolutely. So do that when you make it at home. I'm gonna make it without it because in Korean culture, we have ceremonial dinners that we put together annually for our loved ones that passed away. So every family has their traditional 제사. Unless you're a Christian family, then they don't do that. But I grew up with that. And the ceremonial dinners are so formal and there's so many rules around it. And there's things that you're supposed to do and not do. 고사리나물 무침 is one of the must items that's always presented as part of our ceremonial dinners. You are not allowed to use garlic or green color, scallions and stuff to our gosari muchim, so that's a no-no. I love it either way. Now it's time to taste. It has this like not chewy but not crunchy, but like a texture that you need to kind of chew to eat, and that's the way it's supposed to taste. It's very fibrous. This is like the ultimate superfood. It's loaded with so much protein and other nutrition. They call this like the beef of the earth. That's how much of a superfood this is. Yeah, I know this is a lot of work to just make it as your, occasional side dish here and there. So here is what I would do. I would get a small Ziploc bag and just put small amount or however much you want to eat each time, like so. Seal it up. So get a freezer bag, drop it in here, here, and seal it. And then in your freezer, add your gosari that you pre-seasoned in there and take it out whenever you want to use it or eat it. This is how I would eat it. Just a simple way. I would take a little bit of gochujang, put it on my rice like that. That looks so good already. And then I would take my gosari 나물 무침, lay it on like that. And then you go in with your chopstick and you just grab it like that. And in goes into your mouth, just like that. Simple, so healthy for you. Bon appetit. It's very fibrous. It tastes very meaty. Obviously, it's not beef or pork or chicken. And it's just so satisfying. Very good. And make sure to check out my Bibimbap recipe playlist, which consists of other Bibimbap side dishes along with our gosari recipe today, so you can make your Bibimbap at home. And also check out my panchan recipe playlist that you see right here. So I want to thank everyone for watching today, and if you enjoyed watching today's video, I would greatly appreciate it, as always, if you would click on that thumbs up icon. Doing so supports my channel tremendously, so I want to thank you in advance. 여러분 오늘 재밌게 보셨으면 꼭 좋아하는 버튼과 구독 버튼도 눌러주세요. 감사합니다. 다음 비디오에서 꼭 뵙겠습니다. Alright folks, I will see you in one of the videos right here.